Welcome to We Learn, Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 25th of the study of society, and the chapter is Concepts of Social Structure. The topics to be covered are the concept of social structure, three major views of social structure and social change. The concept of social structure. The word structure meant originally the construction of a building. Structure began to imply interrelations between the parts of any whole. The concept of social structure became popular amongst the sociologists and social anthropologists in the decade following World War II. During that period, it became so fashionable to use this term that it became to be applied to almost any ordered arrangement of social phenomenon. Earlier, structure meant only the construction of a building, but later on it meant social relations. It meant interrelations between people, between parts of any whole or any other people, basically arrangement of social phenomenon. Social structure and social organization. The term social organization has often been used interchangeably for social structure. Firth has regards both these terms as only heuristic devices or tools rather than precise concepts. So according to him, social organization is concerned with the choices and decisions involved in actual social relations, while the concept of social structure deals with the more fundamental social relations which give a society its basic form and which provides limits to the range of action organizationally possible within it. So basically, social organization, the word, it is also used with respect to social structure, fundamental social relations, and also the relations people form with the society and interrelationships people form within it. According to Firth, the structure and organization of the community life possess certain constituents which are essential for social existence within a community. These constituents are social alignment, social controls, social media, and social standards. What is the alignment of people with people? How people control each other? How do they get information, and what are their standards? Social structure and social groups. The newer 1940 has dealt with these persistent and permanent groups whose individual membership keeps on changing but whose structural form remains approximately the same throughout time. His definition of social structure differs from Radcliffe Brown's in the sense that he is not concerned with the social behavior of person to person. He has concentrated his attention in his study of the Nuer of Sudan on the relationship of the homestead with the wider group of the village. Fred Egan, an American anthropologist, describes that the component units of social structure are around the interpersonal relations which become part of the social structure in the form of status positions occupied by individuals. So basically, social structure are the interpersonal relationships which are formed by the individuals and also the status which is occupied by the individuals in the society. He was not the only one who has defined social structure in terms of social status and position occupied by individuals in society. A lot of other anthropologists have also given definitions about social structure and the social status and positions occupied by people in the society. Three major views of social structure are the structural functionalist point of view, the structuralist point of view, the Marxist point of view. The structural functionalist point of view. Social structure is one of the core concepts in the structural functionalist approach to the study of society. This approach is founded on the analogy between a society and an organism, which gained credence when it was presented in a scientific way, modeled on the natural science methods of biology. The structural functionalist point of view, Radcliffe Brown defines social structure as an arrangement of parts of components related to one another in some sort of a larger unity. So there is a larger unity which exists, and there is an arrangement of parts and different components related to one another. And that consists of social morphology and social physiology, dyadic relations and social structure, spatial aspect of social structure and social laws, interests and values in society, social structure and social institutions. So it consists basically that what are the relationship between two individuals and what is the structure forming them, and also the social laws, the rules, regulations, do's, don'ts of a society. Also, interests and values in society. What are the existing interests? What are the values? What are the rules? What are the norms in society which people follow? And also the institutions through which these norms get institutionalized. The structuralist point of view, according to him, the term social structure has nothing to do with empirical reality, but it should deal with models which are built after it. Levi-Strauss, 1953, says that social structure can by no means be reduced to the ensemble of social relations to be described in a given society. This model building on the basis of existing social relations will help one to clarify the difference between the two closely related concepts of social structure and social relations. So Levi-Strauss has basically said that by no means it can be reduced, social structure can by no means be reduced to only the social relations, but it is more to it, and also this model building on the basis of existing social relations can help each other to clarify the differences between the social structure and the relations. The Marxist point of view. The Marxist theories regarding the concept of social structure are free from the bias of organic analogy of the structure functionalists. Karl Marx, 1877, has written about the relations of production as constituting the economic structure, the real basis on which is erected a judicial and political superstructure, and to which correspond the forms of the determined social consigns. So basically, economic structure is the base, that is the base, and on which judicial and political superstructures are created, and that is corresponding with the social consigns or the social structure. So the superstructure is judicial, political and social, and the base is formed by the economic structure. Means economic relationships determine everything, the social relationships as well as the political relationships in the society. The judicial relationships are determined by the economic relations, that is the means of production, which class is possessing or having the means of production, that is being determined, and social relations and political relations are also determined by that. Edmund Leach, a British social anthropologist, says that in Marx's work there are references made to political, juridical, religious and philosophical system. In both Marxist and non-Marxist literature lately, sociologists have added such variants as infrastructure, macrostructure, microstructure, etc. Infrastructure, basically everything, these words are added basically in non-Marxist literature by sociologists in the recent time. Marx had viewed the historical development of societies in terms of stages such as the primitive, ancient, feudal, capitalist and finally communist according to their distinctive modes of production. So basically Marx has viewed the societies as very old, ancient, feudal, capitalist, and in all these stages only there is a rule of the class which has which owns the economic means of production. In each stage of social development, society is divided into social classes on the basis of ownership or non-ownership of property. The owners as a class have a dominant position in society and they exploit the class of non-owners. So basically in each stage of social development, society is divided into social classes on the basis of again ownership or non-ownership of property, and the people who possess economic means of production, they exploit the class of the people who don't have the means of production. Social structure and social change. Social structure in all societies and at all times experiences change. Change is an essential aspect of all societies and it is brought about by the process of social evolution in all societies. Several social anthropologists and sociologists have attempted to study the process of social evolution in societies, which brings about change in the structure and the functioning of societies. So basically change is an essential aspect, change is an essential part in all the societies, and it is also brought about by the process of social evolution, the way societies grow, the way societies develop, and again social structure also, the experiences change, and change is an essential aspect of each and every society. Social differentiation in society. Social differentiation means the process in which the various parts, that is social groups and institutions of society, become more complex and each of them performs some specialized tasks. So, social differentiation basically is the process in which various parts, social groups, or institutions of society become more complex, and each of the person have been assigned different tasks. Henry Maine has made a distinction between the societies based on social status and those based on social contract. Emile Durkheim, 1964, has described the nature of social solidarity in two types of societies depending on the division of labor present in it. Evolution versus revolution. The concept of social evolution is derived from Darwin's theory of biological evolution. It implies order, change, and progress. Evolution is a one-way process, but in societies we find that sometimes change can be from complex to simple as well. And evolution is basically as a one-way process which implies order, change, growth, progress, development. Things are moving. Things are not static, but things are moving, and it is derived from Darwin's theory of biological evolution. Social revolution implies total transformation of the structure of society, as has been explicated by Karl Marx. So social revolution is basically the total transformation of the structure of society. When the working class wages a revolution against the ruling class, their social revolution takes place, and it is a war, it is a revolt which takes place, and it is violent in nature. Social structure and anomie. Emile Durkheim for the first time used the concept of anomie in his book, The Division of Labor in Society. He defined anomie as a state of normlessness in society. He said that members of society need certain social conditions for social participation in which they can attain happiness. The individual members of the society should be morally involved with other people in the society. Robert K. Merton's use of the term anomie varies from Durkheim's in the sense that he has defined anomie on the basis of the gap between the cultural goals in society and the norms or the available institutional means to attain them. So basically there is a gap between the cultural goals in society, and there are also norms or available institutional means to attain them or to fulfill them. So basically individual members in the society have to be morally involved according to the view of the Emile Durkheim, but Robert K. Merton's view was different. So that was all about the session where the social structure and the social relationships were discussed. These are some of the questions. You have to do it yourself. Question number 1, what is the basic unit of social structure in the study of the neo-tribes by E. Evans Pritchard, and what is the spatial aspect of social structure? Thank you. Happy learning. We learning.